You are now rocking with Live and Loud with the Lord.
Nelson, that is.
Gentlemen, brothers and sisters, rockers and real ones, it's time to get locked and loaded. Yeah. Turn your volume up right now and give your full attention to the big guy with the big show, the Lord. Yeah, Nelson, that is, host of Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS network in conjunction with 5 Royals ENT. So now, prepare yourselves for a conversation that takes you on a ride through the raw, electric heart of modern rock and roll with my special guests who are not just turning heads, they're blowing minds with a sonic explosion of high-octane riffs, sensational melodic vocals, and undeniable swagger. They're almost as cool as I am, or maybe that's the other way around. A band that kicks down doors and owns the stage from first note to last. Yeah, these dudes bring controlled chaos with style, fusing punk energy, metal power, and a rock attitude into one magnificent sound. They are here to remind us what real, unfiltered music feels like. So, without further ado, Live and Loud with the Lord brings to you Dusty, Joshua, Tommy, and the Fuzzripper. Yeah. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up? That's it.
Hey, man, welcome. All right, man, my first question, man, as always, is where are you dudes from?
Clarksville, Tennessee, about 45 minutes from Nashville.
Clarksville. And what's wild about that, man, is me doing my little research is that, you know, I have a very, very good friends like my brother, man. He and his brother, I mean, his family, they're from Clarksville, actually, you know, military, but they're from Clarksville. I always talked about it. I was like, man, what's Clarksville, man? What's Clarksville? So it's all up. So what's the best thing about being from there?
Oh, man.
Fuzzripper.
Yeah. Now that's the answer. That's the answer.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people and a lot of restaurants. That's about
really?
A lot of chain restaurants. All right.
Okay. Yeah, indeed. Well, when you recall your earlier days before you became incredible musicians, what was the predominant choice of music in your households?
Oh, God.
Go ahead, Dom.
My mom listened to a lot of like 80s hair metal, and I was not into 80s hair metal. I gravitated to heavier stuff like 80s punk and like death metal and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But it was a lot of 80s hair metal and like new metal.
Right. I got you.
My family was like really into like country music and southern rock growing up. Didn't really have a whole lot of metal in the house until in middle school.
Yeah.
I met a guy that gave me a couple cassette tapes to borrow and blew my mind. One was Kiss,
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
one was Metallica. Of course, I'd never really heard Metallica, and if you hear Metallica for the first time as a kid, you're like, "What?" You know.
Sorry. Indeed.
Yeah, for me it was my parents listened to a lot of country music, kind of like outlaw country.
Outlaw country.
Yeah, well, it was, like Hoyt Axton was one.
Boy, that can really okay.
Yeah, my dad had on cassette, and man, he would break it out every time he was grilling. Was John Prine, and so that's one that's
old
really,
school dude. That's love, man. Yeah,
my folks. I think my first album was like a Depeche Mode album on CD.
Really,
like
Depeche Mode. Yeah,
yeah. But then, of course, the first metal that I got exposed to was, that stuff from the late '90s, all that new metal, Korn, Marilyn Manson. That's what got me into metal initially, anyways. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, man. For me, it was also a lot of country. I mean, it's kind of a theme over here, but like my first cassette was Garth Brooks' Greatest Hits. I wore that thing out, but and I remember the first like rock metal that I heard was Boston. My dad introduced me to Boston. He got a new truck and he put a stereo in it, and you could tell it was taken aback because he used to have like crazy sound systems. He used to drive like a Monte Carlo with like all decked out and stuff when he was younger. But I'll never forget it, going for a ride in his new truck and he just cranked up More Than a Feeling, and like that's yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, listen, all great music. And listen, I love a lot of country music, especially the older stuff. You say Garth Brooks. How big was Garth Brooks, man?
Oh my goodness.
Massive. He was like the biggest thing in the world. But yeah,
still a fan, by the way. I still listen to Garth Brooks.
Being from Tennessee, a lot of people would think that it's just like so much country music, but man, people in Tennessee listen to way more than just country music, especially like in Nashville. So, I know you guys were a part of all that stuff, man. So that's love. So what was the music scene like in Clarksville during your teen years, though, that you guys were witnessing?
For me, it was very, very metal and like I would say new metal driven because I think when I started playing shows, maybe it was around 2000 or 2001. I think I was 13 or 14, and like the big, like Tommy said, new metal was really big. A lot of bands that sounded, like anything from Disturbed to Static X.
Yeah.
Then you had like the Stained type bands that were like the more chill type bands.
Yeah.
That was really big at the time. In Clarksville, I don't know about where these guys were at.
I grew up. So I'm a transplant to Clarksville. I grew up across the water from Seattle in a town called Bremerton. And
okay, you West Coast,
coming up,
man.
Coming up in the late '90s, pop punk was huge in the local scene, and that like third wave ska punk was real big. That was what the kids were coming out to see at the local shows.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I was a little bit after Dusty in Clarksville, more in the 2000s, like later 2000s, and there's a lot of hardcore bands out. I remember that. That was when I started playing shows. That's where there was always like a bunch of people in like the weirdest venues too, like just real small like houses, or there's a warehouse that we used to play, like an old abandoned warehouse, maybe an hour and a half away from here. That they turned into like a skate park, and there was shows there. But yeah, a lot of screamo and like hardcore stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. For me, I'm the baby of the band, so I kind of cut my teeth like 2007, 2008 time frame. Played my first show. I was like 13, and around then it was like deathcore, metalcore, a lot of like heavier bands. We had a bunch of cool punk bands come through and stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of heavier stuff, like Josh was saying, like hardcore bands and stuff.
Well, awesome, man. Awesome. I just like to know what that vibe was, man. Just like I said, I'm visual. So when you guys are saying these things, you're taking me there. So I'm kind of there with you, like looking at this movie, like what's going on, man. So it's cool for me. So was there a defining moment when music really called your name?
Yes. I think it's when that guy handed me that Kiss cassette, listened to it for the first time. I was just wow. I was like, this is amazing. This is what I have to do. And I was already like playing like drums and band and stuff like that. Um, so I started out as a drummer initially,
Oh, really?
very briefly, and then just got locked on the guitar, man. Like the Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer,
Yeah.
Ozzy, Black Sabbath.
Right.
And yeah, but Kiss did it for me, man, as a kid, hearing
Yes.
for the first time and seeing those guys, they're just like larger than life kind of vibe. And I was like, I gotta do rock and roll, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, I remember I was on a school bus with my best friend at the time, a guy named Nathan, and he was listening. He had his little CD player, and he put the headphones in my ear, and it was he was playing Dream Theater, and it was that intro from Honor Thy Father. And Mike Porter just kicks off that intro, and I mean, absolutely, my head exploded. I was like, I want to play drums. I
Awesome.
want to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. Like, I've been around music my whole life, and ever since I was like really little, I was like, I have to do that. Like, that's something I need to do. And I don't know. Like, I've tried to play every instrument. I was doing vocals for a while in a few bands and stuff, and I don't know. It just kind of stuck with me. It's something I'll probably never quit doing. I'll die playing music.
Awesome, man. Nothing like it, man.
For me, it might have been when we got to pick instruments. Like I was probably in the 5th grade or something, and they're like, "Here's all the instruments you could play in band." And I remember the trombone, but obviously I now I play guitar. But yeah, looking back, that was kind of when it clicked for me, it was like, oh, okay, this is something I could pick up. And yeah.
The trombone is, trombone hit you, right? But it's just music, though.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is a weird looking instrument, and it makes a funny sound. Mom's gonna pay for me to rent it. All right,
Right. Got a lot of friends that, I was never in the band, but they were in the band. Like Bones used to be the lead singer of Stuck Mojo. Bones, what a hell of he played trumpet in the band, Other guy, real good friend of ours, played trombone and, the clarinets and all that stuff like that. I used to clown him a little bit, just a little bit. I just joking though. I had nothing but respect for him. It's all love. So do you guys feel your present music has elements of your youth incorporated in it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like a conglomeration of all those like classic metal bands,
Gotcha.
like the Monsters of Rock kind of tour, all kind of like all those bands pushed together. That's kind of like the sound of Fuzzripper, and
Yes.
it also has a lot of pop elements too. I'm a huge fan of pop music too. I'm not going to deny that.
Right.
It's not very metal, but I love the heaviest metal, but I also love pop, man. I like stuff.
Yeah.
I like catchy stuff. And I'm sure these guys are the same way.
You guys are creators, man. I always tell people, man, the majority of us who love music and do music, we love a lot of things. We just don't like one thing, man. I mean, to me, it's crazy. I'm not a genre snob, as I tell people all the time. I just love music, and I say if it's hot, it's hot. That's just what it is. I don't care what it is. If it's hot, it's hot, man. Classical music, whatever it is, I don't care. I just love it when it makes me feel a certain way. There's nothing like music, man. Now, were you guys affected at all musically by having Fort Campbell right there? And the reason why I asked that question is because myself, being a military kid, there were so many different people from everywhere. So I listened to country music. I listened to rock and roll and metal and pop and hip hop and R&B and so all of it. So, I might go to my friend's house and they play this or that or that. So were you guys affected at all?
Actually, me and Tommy were in the military together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Fort Campbell's what brought me to Clarksville.
Okay, so, yeah. Got you. Salute, mama. Yeah.
We started out like, I think Tommy had already gotten out, but I was still in. And I think when I started the project, so a lot of time when I was in the military, towards the end, I was thinking up ideas for this project.
Yeah.
As far as like fans, we do have quite a few fans that are soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like coming up, like rock and alternative and heavy metal used to be really big, like for soldiers. Now I don't know if it is or not. I'm not really sure. Maybe Tommy has more input on that.
But I don't know. I don't know if they're listening to Sabrina Carpenter or what the heck they're listening to. These young soldiers.
You guys are just into your own music, and I get it. I get it. When we're focused on what we're doing, man, we're not paying it so much attention like we used to, man. No, that's awesome. Now, this question right here, man, on the real, this is something I want to dig into something right quick to see if you guys possibly know it, and you may. So Clarksville had a super famous musician that did work there in his early years. So how familiar are you with this history of this individual?
Are we talking about Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah, man.
I was gonna say it's got to be Jimi Hendrix.
It's got to be Jimi Hendrix, man.
One of the coolest thing about Clarksville, honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I always clown on my boys. I was just like, man, Jimi Hendrix was there, man. You guys know how dope that is, man. It's fucking amazing. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Got some insight on a few different stories. I have a friend that unfortunately he just passed away. His name's Matt Gaden.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
He wrote the song "Everlasting Love" that like a bunch of people covered.
Mm-hmm.
I met him somehow through my wife, and she knew his wife. But he was playing shows with Jimmy when Jimmy was stationed at Campbell. He'd go and play in Nashville and stuff like that.
Wow.
So he had a lot of like really cool, but kind of like backstories about him and stuff. Everyone being blown away with him even at that time. He was something special. He definitely didn't want to be a soldier, though. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, I'm telling you, so many of my friends, I applaud you guys who went in the military. So many of my friends, my sister did, and a lot of us who are military kids went into the military also. I was just like, man, I don't know if I can have somebody yelling at me like that, man. And then I married my wife, man. She yells at me. So it's like I got a drill sergeant anyway. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Training, I was like, what have I done?
But now I saw a lot of, listen, there's a lot of times, man, we had so much fun, on the Fort system. So where'd you guys do basic training?
Go ahead, Tommy.
I went to Fort Jackson.
You were at Fort Jackson.
Relax in Jackson, baby.
Yeah, I lived on Fort Jackson for years, man. That's like it's like the best time of my life, man. I've got friends for 40 plus years from Fort Jackson, man.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you anything about the area because, man, they keep you in a small footprint when you're there. Like,
hey, man,
the world is small in basic training.
Hey, listen, we've done it all. We used to ride our bikes all through the battalions, the company anyway, man. Anyway, I could talk about that all day long too. We had some great times on Fort Jackson. We really did. So now, who's the architect of this amazing collective, and is this the original lineup?
Oh boy, me and Tommy are a part of the original lineup. When we first started, my wife was playing bass.
Okay, so me looking at the pictures, that was her, darker hair.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Respect.
4 kids now, so it's kind of hard to juggle.
Right.
And and our previous drummer, he bailed on us because he's a douchebag. And
yeah.
Hey man, 3 T's.
I can't wait to sit on this clip.
No, 3 T's. Tell the truth, bro.
He let me down easy.
Right. Listen, Gales, what's up, bro?
Me and Josh were playing in another project.
Okay.
I was like, here's my, my more like metal project. And Josh was like, why aren't we doing this?
I almost slapped him in the face. I was.
That's actually what got me back into, because we had like a little bit of a break. What got me playing in Fuzzripper was Josh saying, hey, we kind of need to be doing this stuff.
Yeah. I was going to ask that later on, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But this has been the lineup, I think, since maybe 2022.
Okay. Well, being that's what it is. How important is a band's chemistry or your band's chemistry to you with the guys? How do you guys feel about each other?
Great.
I hate everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
You know as well as I do, like being in a band's like being in a family, man.
Right, right.
You could be fighting brothers. You could love each other. And if it don't work, it don't work, man. At the end of the day, you're going to get in arguments. You're going to have the time of your life. But if you can't get through that together, then it's never going to work. And I feel like the group of guys we have now, we could just pull right on through that, you know. Most of the time, we're just happy-go-lucky and having a good time.
Nah, I'm with you on there, man. When I was with Stuck Mojo, like I used to tell Rich and the guys, you know, and I know Stuck Mojo, you know, get into their political thing. It was all love. But I told him, like, man, I just want to have a good time, man. I don't want no craziness, man. I don't want to argue with anybody, man. I just want to be at peace, man. You know, that's all. I just want to have peace. Let's do these shows. Let's do the best that we can, man. Let's have a good time, man, and get the hell on, man. That was just me. You know, I'm all about love, baby. I'm all about love. So, what is it about music that excites you guys like nothing else?
Somebody else take this one.
For me, man, it's just I don't know, just the excitement of like hearing new things and like piecing together how things are made. Mm-hmm. It's pretty crazy to me. Like listening to some bands, I'll be like, whoa, like how did they even pull that off? You know, like it's just inspiring. I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, to put into words, but it's an experience, man. It keeps me going. That's like I'm at work every day and headphones are in and I'm going and I'm always listening to new things. And yeah, man, it helps keep me inspired for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a universal language, right? I mean, you can hear something that was created by somebody who you could never hold a conversation with, right? Because you don't speak the same language. Somebody on the other side of the world, and you can feel something, you know?
Awesome. I like that. Yeah. Love that.
For me, like, man, if a song hits me, like, it's really comparable to like, you know, say you jump in a hot shower on a cold day, something like that. That really good feeling, like you hit that part of the song, you're like, oh man, it's a reaction from your body, you know. You're just kind of like, you know, it's a chill almost in the, you know, you start getting goosebumps, and I've always been a sucker for bands that, you know, that can pull the goosebumps from me, and that's probably why I listen to like the same 20 albums over and over again, but I do try to listen to other music.
Yeah, I gotta echo some of what Dusty's saying. It's those little moments. That's what I live for. Like when everybody locks in and you're like, whoa, man, we caught that, you know, like got that change all together. I know, yeah, and there's no feeling like it.
You know, I just always say that music, you know, I don't drink or smoke or nothing like that. I don't judge anybody else who does that because I've been around a lot of wild stuff on tour. It's been amazing. But, you know, music is my drug. It's my high, you know, and I really enjoy it like that. And I always say that music is the ultimate time machine. Because just like you guys saying, the goosebumps and things that you get when you listen to certain songs, like you say you play those 20 albums, but when you listen to them, it's like it takes you back to a time. You may have been doing something. You may have met your wives or girlfriends or something like that. Music is just one of the greatest things in the world, man. And so I enjoy it tremendously, man. So everything you guys said is love, man. I respect everything you just said, man. So is there a specific writer for lyrics and music, or do you guys just collaborate more?
I do most of the lyrics. Mm-hmm. I'd say maybe about 98% of the lyrics, maybe. Right. My wife does help a good bit. She's like a English tech major, so she helps me out a ton when it comes to. I'll be like, does this sound right? Is this how this is supposed to be? Or I mean, there's a song called Upside Down. She I think she wrote over 50% of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Upside Down, huh?
So, I'm very like, I don't know. I'll write the riff and I'll come up with the melody, and it's like I don't even really know what the song's going to be about, and then all of a sudden here comes the song. I start even if they're not real words, but the words start becoming real words eventually.
Of course. Do you guys like mumble it out? Like so I'm big on the melody. So of course, I have to throw it in here every single show. I can't help it. But Plastic Catastrophe with Lord Nelson. That's the band I'm in with my brother Matt Acevedo. I call him the Magnificent Matt Acevedo. And so when Matt sends me music, I'm big on melody. I'm always about that melody first. And so I just start humming and then I start writing, you know. So when you say that, I really get that. It's just a beautiful thing, man. So do you guys have like creative freedom with each other to do what you do, your drums, your guitars, or whatever like that?
For the most part, I'd say that we do. Like when I usually like demo a song, I'll put like some scratch drums or something in there. Like, Josh will pretty much be in the same avenue as those scratch drums, but he's going to do his thing, obviously.
Gotcha.
Not anything great or anything. They're just like kind of like a blueprint to what's to come.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the more Dustin and I have worked together, particularly with like writing stuff, a lot of times he'll send me a demo and I can already tell like where he's going with it because we just kind of get used to it. I think I've had some influence on that, and he's had a lot of influence on my drum writing too. So,
hey, listen, awesome, and you guys have been around each other long enough to really know each other. So, yeah, that vibe is love, man, most definitely. So, what do you guys enjoy more, producing or performing?
Performing, I was.
Yeah.
All of you performing?
Yeah.
I get it's kind of ironic, but I record most of our music myself at my house, and for this album we just outsourced the drums basically somewhere else.
Okay.
I get almost like anxiety, and when it comes to recording, it'll be just me in the room. Like if I'm doing vocals, I'm recording my own vocals. It's almost like this, like, is this going to be good enough? You think it's good enough, but is this performance going to be good enough? Starts getting to me. And I've learned that I just have to hit record and I just have to do it. Because as soon as I get like the first line out, that's it. I'm good to go.
Got you.
I just keep on rolling,
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Like when we were in the studio with the drums, I mean, there was so many hours like setting up and getting everything to sound just right. And then, okay, now we've been here half a day. It's time to start playing. And it's just a completely different mindset. I'm hyper focused on making sure I nail this exactly how I want it to go, on the, when we're on stage, I mean, it's mostly muscle memory, right? I'm just, it's, we're up there having a shared experience, with the guys. It's a whole different, like that's the happy place,
But Josh, now it's nothing without those drums, man, right? Those drums keep everybody in tempo or whatever. That's how important you are, right?
I want to say it's the rhythm section, okay? Look, Fuzzripper is all about these ripping guitars. Everybody knows it, all right? But if you listen closely, there are bass and drums in there as well.
I thought it was about the bass, though, man.
Shout out Dom, all right?
Is it about the bass, though?
I mean, look at this guy. He's so beautiful. I love you.
No, I'm just saying. Why do bass players get so much flack, man? I don't understand it, man. Why
man, I couldn't tell you.
Because they're not the Dom. That's why. Okay.
Yes, that's it, man. I don't know, man. Like, Geddy Lee, he held it down for front. You got homeboy from Primus, Les Claypool, Victor Wooten and stuff. It's like, man, some of these bassists out here are like insanely talented. And I don't know, man. It's always been that thing. I guess for I don't know, like hard rock stuff and stuff like that, you don't really notice the bass line or anything. It's kind of like just blended in with everything else, it's kind of simple, I guess. But then you get into like, some of the new metal stuff like Korn, and like you got Fieldy going crazy on bass, and it's dang.
Bro, I didn't even know that was bass when I was a kid, man. I'm like, what is that noise?
What's that?
Bass, that clicking.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, indeed. Awesome. So let's talk about your debut, Night Stalker. So why this title, and what were you ultimately wanting the listener to receive from your debut?
So it was titled Night Stalker because the whole first album was based on serial killers. And that's kind of like a homage to Richard Ramirez kind of thing. And that's pretty much why we call it Night Stalker. And then each song kind of like, was about a different serial killer.
You're so wild. So let me say this before we continue on. What's so amazing, right, is the themes, the lyrics. They all have that, and this is just my opinion. Now, I hope you guys don't mind me saying this, but the way you deliver it, it's not harsh to us. You know what I'm saying? It's more welcoming the way that you deliver the madness in a sense, and so it's like we want to listen to it because it's dope as hell. It's not like I'm like, I'm appalled. I'm not appalled. I'm just like, I'm listening to what you're saying, so I'm just like, okay. So you guys do a great job of delivering that madness, man. It's amazing, man. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that.
100%. That's what we're going for.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Awesome. So now, Gypsy Doe is my favorite from this album. Stellar vocals and musicianship, man. No doubt about it, man. I really, really love that. So do you guys have a formula for the intros, though? Because the intros are always, you have some great intros.
Thank you. There's really no formula. It just, like I said, it starts with the riff. And, I have I call it riff tape, but it's really just my phone. I have a lot of riffs in different folders for different vibes.
Right.
I sit down and I make one riff. I'll go to a folder that's maybe that vibe, and I'll start listening to that, and everything will start coming together, kind of thing. But Gypsy Doe is definitely, probably, I would say, our ballad if we had one. It does have that kind of that vibe, and it's really haunting too.
Yeah. I love that song. It's a great song. Great song. The entire project is great. So now, then there's an 8-year span between albums. Why was that?
So the big reason was our drummer had to go away for business.
The douchebag?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one and the same.
Massengales? Okay, I got you.
No, great guy. But
no, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
He moved to be close to his business partner in the UK. Being where we're at in Clarksville, it's just like there wasn't really a whole lot to pick from as far as band members at the time. And it was kind of like a hit for me too, because I really enjoyed this project, and I felt like it was going to take so much work to find somebody that would be a good fit for us. So, we took some time off, and I ended up playing in different bands, alternative bands, pop punk bands, rock bands, which that's where I actually met Josh, was one of those bands.
Mm-hmm.
And Fuzzripper just made its way back around, through that project, and it ultimately took over my life again.
Got you.
Yeah. That's okay. Real talk. The former drummer, like Dusty said, he left. He was one of my favorite drummers in the area. I mean, I've always, I admired the guy as a drummer especially when I was younger. So it kind of did feel like I had some pretty big shoes to fill. I remember that when we started talking about doing the Fuzzripper stuff, it was definitely a step up from the stuff we were doing.
Yeah, well, listen, you like me when I filled in for Bones. I couldn't be Bones, man. I couldn't be Bones. I had to be Lord Nelson, man. So I just came in. I just did me. I'm confident in who I am and my writing and all those things like that. So, you've come in and you've done a great job also, man. All of you guys, I'm telling you, man, you guys are amazing musicians. There's no doubt about it. Just like I said, the orchestration, the arrangement, and all those things are just fantastic. You guys are doing a fantastic job. There's no doubt about it, man. I enjoy it. So let's talk about the present amazing offering from the music gods, Poltergeist. So why, once again, this title, and what were you ultimately wanting the listener to receive from this one?
This album was all about basically horror movies or the paranormal movies from when I was a kid. Act on me. And Poltergeist was one of those movies that scared the hell out of me as a kid. I wanted to watch it. From a young age, I was really drawn to horror movies, but I was terrified of them. Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship. I just wanted to make a album and a song, about that movie and just, the feelings that it gave me as a kid, those chilling moments and stuff like that.
Got you, man. Now listen. Once again, you talking about, man, I wasn't one to watch no scary ass movies, man. I'm gonna tell you now. You put that shit on there, man. I'm so visual, man. I watched the damn, and see, I remember this clearly. 7th grade, we watched a fucking Dracula film strip. I know you guys might not know what the hell that is. A film strip where it would just, the music would play on the tape, and then as it would go, it would flip to the next, scene. And I can just remember this is how you know how important music is, like in movies and everything. Music takes you to another place. And after I watched that damn film strip that night when I got home, man, I had the worst nightmare in the world, man. Dracula was about to fuck me up so bad. Man, I got out my bed, went to my brother's room, got on the floor right beside his damn motherfucking bed. He woke up like, what the hell are you doing here? I was like, shit, Dracula was trying to get my motherfucking ass, man. So I understand it, man. I really do, man. Just once again, great job. So now, as I said before, about the orchestration and everything, the mixture of genres that you guys have is outstanding, and your harmonious vocals have created such a beautiful product, so and once again, you said it before, but my favorite on this one is Upside Down. So you already said it. It's a great fucking song. So that first 1 minute and 16 seconds is next level nice to me, man. I love the intro, but the entire album is an incredible listen. I just wanted to say that to you. I really, really do. This is a great project, gentlemen. It really is. So now, what does success look like to you guys?
Oh boy.
Touring with Ghost or Metallica, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have day jobs, three of us.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You're superstars, right? No, you don't. No, you don't.
Success to me would be, doing what you love, but you can pay the bills,
Right. Indeed.
That would be success for sure.
You all you guys feel the same way?
Oh yeah.
Look. Yeah, just the ability to make music as a living, yeah, that would be success.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't gotta be rich.
Yeah, no, I mean we all would love to be billionaires, I don't think that a lot of people, even our peers, I'll post something about, we got a song out called Be Long, as people saying like, it won't be long until you're on, until you're out of here, you're gone. But they don't know how hard it is to do it. This business we love so much is not the easiest business in the world. So a lot of people do not understand, and they'll make comments like, I don't know why you haven't done this, man. Shut up. If you only knew what we go through, man. We love this a lot, man. And as my wife gets mad with me sometimes, I always tell her, I was like, the other thing I do is my hobby. I said, this music and these podcast stuff is what I love. She's like, yeah, whatever. Just make sure you go get that money. So, yeah, man. So this question is some realness right here. Not that the other questions haven't been real. Of course they are. Who are you dudes beyond the music?
Of course, playing guitar, but that's obvious.
Yeah.
I love 80s metal. I love, finding bands from the 80s that maybe I've never listened to before. Love spending time with my kids.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know what's beyond the music. Nothing music. Like, I like to go fishing. So that's enjoyment to me, So those are the kind of things I'm asking.
I like to cook. I would consider myself the cook of the group.
Chef, yeah.
Yeah, I like cooking outside. I love cooking on live fire and grilling. And I like to hunt and cook what I hunt. So
Got you.
that's yeah, that's definitely me beyond the music. If I had a second passion, that would be it.
Oh,
For
so
sure.
you go deer hunting?
Oh yeah, big
Yeah,
time.
I
It's
know. Have a
you know.
lot of people. Even man, my father-in-law, rest in peace. He was a biggest man. My wife's from Mississippi, and man, when I tell you, my father-in-law, he would go fishing, he would go hunting, and he would send us the most deer meat. Man, I was just like, man, we gonna do it all. Yes, indeed. Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry.
For me, as a kid, I didn't get outside much, and so I'm making up for it as an adult. So I like to go like trail running. I like to go for a paddle, go rowing on the water. Yeah, I like to force myself to get out in the sunshine as much as possible.
So, Tommy, you just said a lot. If you would like to, break down things and talk about things, we can. You have your brothers here, and we could talk about why you didn't go outside a lot on the West Coast. Maybe it was the weather. I don't know.
Oh man,
like a whole lot of things. Hey, that would be
it's probably that. As a kid, man, those Nintendo games were just calling my name.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Got you.
Mario and
yeah. Of course. Okay, I'm glad. I was worried about you for a second. I was just like, man, we gotta get Tommy some help, man. We gotta get some help, man. It's all love. Thank you. You're good. You're good. So was that everybody?
I hang out with my son. I have another baby on the way. I like to go fishing.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I do a lot of family time stuff outside of music. I kind of prioritize my family as like my top priority right next to music, of course, day job and all, but like aside from working and playing music, that's all I'm doing, man.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah. Look, family wise, and if you guys do have family and children or spouses or girlfriends or whatever you have, boyfriends, whatever you got going on. I don't know. I just, I don't want to judge anybody. I'm just saying it's all love to me. But just like with me, I have 3 children and all of my children have graduated from college and they're doing extremely well. I'm really proud of them. But my wife and I, even though I was doing music and stuff, we still put our time into our children. That was a priority for us, And maybe I could have been here, there. Who knows? But I don't have any regrets on the life. So that was a big part of my life. Still is. Father's Day is coming up here. As great as we all are being fathers, you know how it is, man. It's all love, man. But anyway, man, I just get emotional about family life. I love family life. It's good. Not always easy, man. Is it, baby? She said that, man. Listen, I hope she didn't hear me, man. She's gonna come up here and just say something. Beat me with some oranges so you don't see the bruises anyway. So, gentlemen, what can we expect from Fuzzripper for the rest of the year of our Lord 2025?
We're definitely going to be, trying to play some shows. We're going to be writing. We're going to keep updating, socials as much as we can. Keep everybody involved with what's going on.
Yes,
our lives and our hobbies and what's going on behind the band.
Awesome. Now, did you say rioting or writing?
No, my kids do the writing. No, I'm also writing. Starting to write the new or the next album.
Okay, awesome. Now, listen, looking forward to it, man. You guys really do have a great sound. I just think the chemistry that you guys have together is amazing. Your vocals are amazing. They're powerful. They're strong. You guys have great tension in releasing your songs, and all of those elements of the different genres really come together so nicely, and it just creates an amazing product, an amazing sound. So it leads me into this right here. So what makes Fuzzripper a must watch and listen?
Go ahead, guys.
I mean, our live shows are pretty sick, I would say. Dusty sets up all of our lights to our tracks and stuff, so they're cued in with it.
Awesome.
They do some pretty sick guitar solos, standing on some boxes, I think we put on a pretty good show, and I think our albums speak for themselves as far as listenability goes and
no doubt
who we are as musicians,
Yeah, for sure. I think it's really it's familiar music, but it's original at the same time, right? There's a lot of stuff that you'll recognize some influences. There's it's some heavy metal with that nostalgic like synth from the 80s, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, we also have a lot of more modern influences that are put in there, and we try to put our own take on it. I think it's just fun.
Definitely, it's uniquely yours. It really is. Yeah. All right, Tommy. I want to hear from you. I want to listen. Talk about it.
Oh, the music. I mean, it's catchy and it's metal. Honestly, around here you listen to a lot of metalcore stuff, and that's great. But some of that stuff can sound the same. And so, yeah, I think what makes Fuzzripper unique is it's kind of poppy, a little bit. It reminds me of the metal that I really appreciate. The stuff like Judas Priest. Shout out to what Dusty's wearing, but stuff where these guys were metal, but maybe they were just metal because that's what was popular at the time, and really in their heart of hearts they were like pop songwriters. Right. Like we really love Wasp. That's a big influence for us, and that guy writes the hits. Old Blackie Lawless, man. He knows how to write the hook.
Yeah. Cool, man. So was that everybody? I want to make sure, I want you guys to get on that soapbox and talk about who you are, man.
So, I mean, for me, when I write a song, I want to write a song that I would want to hear. Like when I was a huge music fan coming up as a kid, we had so much access to just like the legends,
right?
Legends now, and I just want people to be drawn back to that time, where it's like, wow, this sounds really awesome. Like I really enjoy this, and really reel somebody in, whether it's a lyric, a song melody, a ripping guitar solo, even a drum fill. I think I want to write music that my childhood self would want to hear, that would blow me away. Awesome. with my Walkman, with my cassette player. That's the kind of music I want to write. Oh
man, awesome! I love it. I feel you on that one, no doubt about it, man. No, listen, all great answers, man. All great. So now, this is always my last question for you guys. What was the last song you listened to?
Oh man. Tell you an album, can't tell you a specific song on it because I don't know the last song on the album, but it's the OG album by this band The Holy Guile. They're like a deathcore band. I think they're from like Ohio. But yeah, I think the album came out in like 2010 2011.
The Holy Guile.
Mine was the song Mystery by Dio. I actually got a new cassette player, so I've been going through my cassettes. The last song I was on was Mystery.
You got a nice cassette collection, yo.
Hey, it's okay. It's nothing great.
Yo, listen, man. I just think I haven't played cassettes in so long, man. I have them up in a box somewhere, man. It's crazy though. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, mine was some My Chemical Romance, Helena. They just dropped like a remaster, remix, like a remixed version of that album.
Got you.
Like it's 20-year anniversary.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Dusty just recently sent me. He said, "Hey, you need to listen to Waiting for Darkness off of it's an Ozzy Osbourne cut off of Bark at the Moon." Dusty.
Bark at the Moon.
Yeah, Bark at the Moon. Anyways, so I made a radio station of that on Spotify, and I think the last thing it played was Michael Schenker's Armed and Ready.
Yeah,
so that's the last song I listened to.
So I like to ask that question, man. You guys, like, you said Holy Guile. You might come up with something I haven't listened to yet, and then I have to go out there and dig into it and see what it's about and see if it's something that I really, really like, So that's why I always like to end it with that question, because I want to know what you guys are talking about. But then you talk about Bark at the Moon. Man, myself and Daniel Horn, we go up to his house, myself and Troy Carruthers. I'm going to throw their names out there, all for Jackson time. We go up in Danny's room in Atari 3200, play Pac-Man and Lizard of Ozzy Osbourne over and over again. It was crazy. It was beautiful, though. It was crazy. Once again, time machine. Time machine. You said Bark at the Moon. Amazing. Anyway, and listen, guys, I had a great time. I appreciate you guys so much for being here and taking the time. So if you guys don't mind, the floor is yours. Let these people know where they can, peep you out, where they can spend some money on you and do all those things that they need to do to support you.
Sure. If you go to pretty much Google Fuzzripper, Instagram.com/Fuzzripper, you can go to our link there. It'll bring you to our newest releases as far as music videos. It'll bring you to our store, and you can support us that way. We got some killer shirts that got some throwback designs on them. Our newest album you can buy on vinyl there. And if you would like for us to sign it or something like that, you could put it in the notes. As far as the album, you could stream it pretty much anywhere you stream music right now. And if you did that, we'd very much appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. But once again, you guys are officially family. You're already on Distill, so you know your family, but it's like anytime you guys want to come back, talk about anything, you want to talk about the deepest, darkest secrets, Tommy, we got you, man. If you just want to talk about rain and, playing Nintendo, man, we can do that. Anything you guys want to talk about, you're always welcome to come here. This is a safe space for you. And we can just have a good time, man. I really appreciate you guys. You guys cooler than a mug, man. I like that, man. I like it. I'm glad you all came too. I'm glad you all came in the right way. It's a good thing. So, hey, man, thank you guys very, very much. I really, really appreciate it.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Pure energy, raw truth, and unfiltered rock power from the one and only Fuzzripper. Yeah, man, oh man. Big thanks to the band for bringing the noise and sharing their journey. And I thank you for taking the time to spend some time. And until next time, keep it live, loud, and proud, and lead with love and forward in faith and peace and respect, man, from the Lord. Nelson, that is.
Turn it up. You're listening to Live and Loud with the Lord, Nelson, that is.